This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. Visit them online at movingindiana.com. This hour will bring you the latest news and home trends in Fort Wayne and all of Indiana. Now, here's Tony and Sam.
Good morning, Indiana. This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show here on 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. I'm Tony Didier. Alongside me is Sam Hartman.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Sam. We're here from Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Real Estate. We service basically all of northern Indiana, so if you're listening and you got a home to buy or sell, you can contact us at movingindiana.com. That's Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Northern Indiana's #1 real estate company. We've been family owned and operated in the area for over 40 years now. That's some good experience. And we're here on the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show to talk to you guys a little bit about the real estate market, current trends going on, and some tips and pointers. We bring in special guests and interview them about their real estate experience. And today, we have 3 people joining us on the show. Kevin Hunter, president of Windows, Doors, and More. And then we have a home building new construction theme going on for the other 2 guests. We have Michelle Schmeckens from Hallmark Home Mortgage, who is an expert on new construction loans. And also, we have Roger Delagrange in here, who is a home builder and developer. So should be a great show today. We thought we'd start off, Sam, by talking about what to expect on showings.
That's right. Last week we covered a lot about the first-time home buyer, things that they should expect, and really going on showings and finding a property that fits your needs is something that all home buyers are going to need to know about and going to be going through. So we're going to touch on what to expect from that process, things to look for in the process, and try to help you out that way.
That's right. You get a glimpse of it on HGTV. A lot of times what they do isn't exactly realistic. Most times you're going to know the price of a home before you go see it, and your realtor isn't going to make you guess what the price is at the end. So when you're searching online, you got a pretty good idea, I'd think, of what your price range is, and you're probably going to pick a decent amount of the ones you want to see and send them to your realtor. And the realtor can also, make some suggestions, send some homes to you, see what you think. The realtor can set up the showings for you pretty easily. You want to give 24 hours notice or more to the home seller so they have a chance to prepare their home, get it clean as you would want to do if you were selling your home. They want to make it look as good as possible.
Mow the yard, pick up the kids' toys, things like that.
Exactly. You get that showing scheduled, then all you do is you can either meet your realtor at the office and they can drive you around to the homes, or they can meet you right there at the first home. The realtor can get you in with the lockbox. And then once you're in the home, what is the etiquette? What's the protocol when you're in someone else's home? Obviously, you don't want to touch any of their personal belongings, as you wouldn't want them to touch your personal belongings when you're in their house. But that being said, I think the homeowner has a decent expectation that you're going to, open doors, cabinets, turn on a faucet or two. So feel free to check out the quality of the home, see if they got nice solid doors and cabinets. Go in whatever rooms you want and turn on whatever lights you want.
The couch and coffee table, probably not going to come with the house. So to sit down, kick your feet up, turn on the TV, probably isn't appropriate on a showing.
And definitely don't put your coffee mug down on the coffee table without a coaster. You don't want to make a ring.
That's just, consider it no matter where you're at.
Exactly.
Even if you're at a coffee shop, you should always use a coaster. Something I always enjoy doing, and to show the in-depth that you can really go to with a showing and seeing the property, I always like to turn on the shower and check the water pressure. Water pressure is very important to me. I need a good water pressure to get clean. So that's one of my little quirks whenever I'm on a showing or looking at a house.
Okay, just don't get in the shower when you turn it on. You don't want to get wet.
Yes.
But you can get a new shower head, try to improve that pressure a little bit as well. The realtor will point out whatever they notice about the house. Unlike HGTV, it's probably the realtor's first time in that home as well, unless they've showed it to somebody else. But they will be aware of the home and try to point out anything they may notice about it. They can try to look for defects in the home, but really, an inspector is going to be better for that if you end up writing an offer on the home. But the realtor can point out things about the area and the neighborhood maybe you didn't know, or how it compares to other houses around there. But yeah, feel free to go in rooms, turn on lights. One theory that sellers have had that you'll read about is sellers like to turn on lights Sometimes if they're going to be home right before and right after the showing, they'll turn the lights on for you so that you don't have to when you walk into the house. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but I do think it helps a little bit. I like to walk into a house with the lights on. You don't want your house to look dark and dingy. And I think even more important than the lights would be having your window treatments open, let that natural light in because, nobody likes to live in a cave except for maybe Batman.
and that's definitely a true observation, Tony. A lot of showings are done during the daylight hours, whether it's earlier in the morning, early afternoon, or an early evening, but very rarely are they done, under the, the cover of darkness or anything like that. So the family or the couple looking at a home is definitely going to be able to see how that natural light affects the home, what type of natural light they have coming in. I mean, everybody loves windows. Everybody loves having that natural light coming in, and not being able to save money on electricity and having the inside lights on. So definitely having the window treatments to a way that are portraying the house in a positive light, if you will, is definitely going to be an important part on the seller's side to make sure that comes across to the buyers.
And when you are the buyer, you definitely want to schedule your showings during a reasonable time. You don't want to be trying to set showings for 10 o'clock at night. The sellers do have an opportunity to cancel the showing or try to reschedule it to a different time. But for the sellers out there, you really want to try not to cancel showings because odds are the realtors set up showings for that buyer in a sequence where they can see, 3 to 8 homes or so. So if they're going to see those other 5 homes and yours ends up not being on the list because you had to cancel for whatever reason, if they found a house they like, there's going to be no reason for them to reschedule for your house. Also, it's very inconvenient for someone, with a busy work schedule maybe to go see 5 homes one day and then 1 home the next day. So you definitely want to try to accept any showing you can, make a reasonable effort to get the house ready to show. And that's probably about the average, I think, is if you're going to set up a showing, you might as well set up about 3 to 8 showings. Any less, and you got to set up showings a bunch of different days, and it's not really efficient. And any more than that, if you set up 15 showings in a day, the houses do tend to run together. You can't remember certain things about certain houses. And at Coldwell Banker Roth Werhly Graber, we have some sheets you can fill out, some highlights of the homes that you went to so you can remember what the pros and cons were for sure. You can get our Home Buyers Journal off of movingindiana.com at the bottom of the website. Just click Home Buyers Journal. You can't miss it. Another thing to think about when you're going on a showing, besides not touching the personal items of the seller, is you might want to remove your shoes, especially if it's wet out or muddy. A lot of times you'll want to look at the inside of the house and then go outside maybe so that, the dirt's not on the shoes as much. But make an effort to take them off if it's not too big of a deal. A lot of times, actually, in new construction, they'll have little footies that you have elastic on them and you put them over your shoes. So you don't even have to take off your shoes, but it keeps things clean. So that's really convenient. Not all home sellers will do that, though, but just make sure you're not messing up their nice flooring, especially if it's about to be your flooring if you're at an offer on the house.
Now, in real estate, do they abide by the you break it, you buy it rule?
I'm not sure they do, but you definitely don't want to run the risk of breaking anything.
Good idea.
So when in doubt, don't touch it or talk to your realtor.
Now, Tony, what advice do you have for a buyer that maybe has properties that are popping up and they're finding online that they're interested in? Is that something that they should kind of take their time on and look at when they're comfortable and ready? Or do you think buyers, especially this time of year, should really jump at the chance to see those homes and to get inside to check them out?
Statistically, it takes a buyer about 9 months to buy a home. The first 3 to 6 months, they're just kind of looking online, maybe even driving around past homes, seeing, if it's an area they're comfortable with or that feels safe or that they like or that's close to work or, other places in the community. And then the 3 months after that is when they maybe meet a realtor or find out a family friend who's a realtor and maybe start looking at homes. And then after that, they write an offer and, it takes about a month or so to get in the home. So really just make sure you're ready, but at the same time, if you want to get in while interest rates are still low, you don't want to really put it off. So, check out some homes online, go see some in person because you can't really tell until you're in person. But it is rare to walk in a home and right away say, this is the one. And, when that happens, you don't want to let it go. You're definitely going to say, oh, remember that one house? Man, we should have put an offer in on that one. I can't believe it sold. So
the one that got away, huh?
Yeah. You don't want to have the one get away. You want to definitely capitalize on an opportunity to get a home that works for you and your family.
So when people are looking online at movingindiana.com for those homes and they're interested in starting that process and getting inside the homes for a showing, how do they go about finding the right realtor and contacting one?
Well, Sam, the listing agent, their picture and information will be on the listing that you're looking at, but you don't necessarily want to pick the listing agent of the home you like, because the listing agent is also representing that seller. So there's certain information that they can't share with you, that they're obligated to share with their seller. So, maybe you meet a nice realtor at an open house, or you search our realtors on movingindiana.com. You can see every agent on our roster, and it's good to get an agent from a good, solid company like Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber, because they're going to be backed by managers with years of experience and a marketing team like me and you. So you want to make sure that you find a realtor that is with a good company, and maybe you check our agent roster and you see somebody and you can call them up, or like I said, meet an agent in an open house. And we'll go over our open houses on movingindiana.com that you can check out later this afternoon. So right now, we have Kevin Hunter joining us from Windows, Doors, and More. Kevin is the president of Windows, Doors, and More. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Kevin, how much of a difference can the right windows make to a home?
Well, that's having the right glass in your windows is very, very big in regards to reducing your energy cost. Right now, as we're replacing windows for a lot of our clients, the very first thing we hear from them is that those southern-facing windows, as well as west-facing windows, it reduces the heat penetration because of the technology of low-E glass that we have today, that basically does not allow that the hot summer sun to be able to penetrate the window and to heat the rooms hot. And consequently, that means the central air does not run nearly as often and reduces overall costs for energy, and also it makes the rooms considerably more comfortable. Low-E also works the opposite direction during the winter. It reflects the heat back in, so you're not having to run your furnace nearly as much as well.
How can you tell if your windows are efficient or not?
The best way to tell whether you have low-E glass or not is there's some form of a tint on the window itself. If you get up next to your windows and you look at them from a side view, if you see it like a double reflection, that's the reflections off of the layers of silver that's been embedded into the glass that creates the low-E glass. Technology over the last even 8 years has, considerably gone up, comparatively speaking, to the early generations of low-E glass that have been around now for over 20 years. They can just continue to get better and better with each generation of layers of silver that they continue to learn how to make it better.
Can the right windows in your home cut down on your utilities?
This is a very interesting thing to talk about, because if the attic is not space is not properly insulated, our windows will still do a good job, but you're still going to lose your heat up and out through the roof of the home. If the roof is insulated well and there's plenty of insulation within the walls, we generally hear of up to 30% savings on utility bills with that scenario. Now, we've heard where there's not enough perhaps insulation in a home, where we hear about 15% because they're still losing it through other avenues. But we hear that on a regular basis. Hey, Kevin, we saw it. We reduced our utility bills by 20, 25, 30% is what we generally hear.
If someone is ready to evaluate their windows or maybe want to upgrade to something more efficient, what's the first call they should make?
What we highly recommend, first of all, if you see any wood rot, if you see that's the first scenario. If you're noticing that you're getting a lot of heat through your windows, or if the drapes are blowing, during the wintertime, that's probably a first indication that you may have something that needs to be looked at. You can call one of us at call Windows, Doors, and More. Have one of our representatives come out, look at your windows, evaluate them for them, and then we will make recommendations based upon what we find.
Kevin Hunter from Windows, Doors, and More. How can they reach you?
The best way to reach us is to call the office at 422-7077 or visit our neighborhood showroom on Washington Center Road. We are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, and then Saturday, 9 to 5.
All right, Kevin Hunter, president of Windows, Doors, and More. Thanks for joining us this morning on 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. Coming up, we have the new construction segment of the show. You don't want to miss that. Inventory's low. You can build the home of your dreams to your specifications. Later, we're going to have Michelle Schmeckens, who specializes in new construction loans with Hallmark Home Mortgage. This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show. You can visit us on movingindiana.com to get more information about real estate in northern Indiana. With Tony Didier and Sam Hartman, we'll be back after the break with Roger Delagrange.
You're listening to the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show with Tony and Sam. Visit them online at movingindiana.com. You're listening to the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show with Tony and Sam on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM.
And welcome back to the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show. And we have a very special guest joining us on the phone. It's Roger Delagrange from Delagrange Builders. How you doing this morning, Roger?
Very well, gentlemen. Pleasure to be on your show.
All right, thanks for being on the show. We just want to ask you some quick questions about new home construction and building. It seems it's getting more popular right now. What are some of the main benefits to building a home over buying an existing home?
Well, the greatest thing I think that you see in today's market is if you look at an existing home, especially if it's been built since 2000, maybe 6, 7, 8 in there. Today you go into most of your homes, the ceilings are always much higher. 9-foot ceilings have almost became a standard in something that's semi-custom or custom home. Sometimes 10, you get 11, 12-foot ceilings, and those things you walk into an existing home that's maybe built 5, 6, 05, 06. Those things are kind of hard to find, I would say, or even in the 07, 08 in there. But that's one of the biggest advantages that I see. And bathrooms and so forth. Bathrooms today, I mean, they're just always changing bathrooms and kitchen. They're always the very hot topics, the hot things, and building a home, you get to pick out the granites, you get to pick out the walk-in showers, the freedom showers, and design your bathrooms. And, there's just no replacement. I mean, when you want to build something, it's hard to go out and find something. If you have something in your mind that you want to do, and it's very hard to find something existing a lot of times, especially in today's market.
Now, Roger, my home is 100 years old, so perhaps it was a custom home back then. One of the problems with an older home or a pre-existing home is that you kind of take in the baggage that comes with it from pre-existing owners and just the life of the home. So what's the benefit of building new, and is there also kind of a peace of mind to that, some sort of like a warranty program for people that do decide to build new?
Well, that's another thing. As you're building a new home, I mean, one thing you don't have to worry about is probably the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, any kind of repairs, probably for, I would say a minimum maybe of 12, 14, 15 years. Roofs, I mean, you're probably out 25 and 30 years. Siding, things like this here. The products that you use today, too, in a new home, like a lot of your historical homes, your older homes are, you got a lot of painting and so forth on them. And, today, the outsides, a lot of them are pretty much maintenance-free. That's another real reason, I think, why you want to build a home. But, again, if you want a historical home, you want an older home of some type, nothing wrong with it, but those are the things that go along with it, especially furnaces, air conditioners, plumbing fixtures. It's just constant maintenance. It's like buying a used car. A little bit the same thing. You just have to remember when you do buy that there's going to be maintenance, repairs.
I like that. So you say it's basically maintenance-free. Does that mean you're coming out and mowing the yard for me?
Well, in some situations today, I mean, something that's much more popular today. I mean, we started aluminiums, I remember back in 1984, 85. nobody liked the word condominium, so we came up with the word villaminium. It was an ad agency of ours that came up with that. There wasn't even such a word, so kind of shortened it. We call it a villa today, but so many more people. We used to think back then this was somebody that was retiring, or somebody was older that wanted to move into a villa. But, in today's market, what you're finding is you're finding a lot of even young professionals. They just don't want they don't want to come home. They don't want to mow the yard. They don't want the maintenance, the shrub beds, the snow removal, and things like this here. And that's really becoming more and more and more popular. And in all price ranges, really. Any villas even, starting in the low 100s to as high as $500,000. I mean, they're just all ranges. And but so many more people, that's what they want, the professional people anymore. They want the maintenance free.
Very interesting. I'm sure some people haven't even thought about that, but maybe they will now. What are some new designs or building materials that you've noticed that people have been asking for or that have been getting more popular?
Well, the kind of materials that we have today that you use on a new home, a lot of these hardy plank, we use on the front's been used here for quite a few years. I mean, it's such a much, much better product than what we used to use. I remember we used to use a lot of, cedar and staining, and some of these products today, I mean, you can go in and paint them. They look like a cedar. They're not cedar. They're not wood, but they last. I mean, the paint, they'll last, 10, 12, 15 years till you got to even paint again. And the paint holds on. It doesn't peel from an exterior standpoint. But there's so many of them today, they're made with vinyl trims on your windows and so forth. You don't even have to, there is no painting around them anymore. That's a real consideration what you want to look at when you're looking at home, building a home is repairs and maintenance. I mean, you get into a home that's 20, 25 years old, you're starting to see a lot of window replacements and things like this. And the products today are just much better than what they were when we used to use 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Far superior.
So it sounds like the customer has a lot of customization options for products and types of things that they're putting into the home. But what about customization of floor plans? Do you guys pretty much have set floor plans that you do for people? Is there options to customize and things in that regard as well?
Well, that's one thing in the floor plans in our operation. Sometimes I sit down and question when we're going to do a new floor plan and so forth. It's like the last model we did there in La Cabrera in Tesoro. The plans are very, very, very open inside, and where the kitchen and then your eating area, your nook area, your family room kind of all run together. And, I was maybe a little older and say, we don't want to do that, but thanks to a young design team that my daughter works with me, Holly, and with John, and said, no, this is what we need to do. And, now when you go in there, that's all we're building. So, it's time to listen to some of the young folks, to their ideas. They're in the marketplace where I'm not in that like it used to be, but they really like the open concept, the split bedrooms, and we're even building them as single-family homes. They're not just villas. We can build a villa. We can build that as a single-family home, anywhere, too, and we're doing them over and over. It's just the floor plans. They want something that's open and it's got a great feel, high ceilings when you walk in.
Definitely. Has
all
building homes...
all the granites and things like this, and the walk-in, the Freedom showers. 10, 15 years ago, we used to do the big whirlpool tub and a shower and a master bath, and today we aren't even doing the whirlpools. Today they're taking them out, building bigger Freedom showers is what they're doing, and that's what the people want.
What's the biggest difference in building homes now than when you started out?
Oh, my lands are just... when I started out back in 75, 76, it's just so much more custom today than what we were then. I mean, in every area. I mean, back then, if you're down a screen porch, in a 2-car garage. Today, they want the 3-car garages. They want the extra storage spaces. Sometimes even on the lower level, we'll build like a 4th-car garage or walk-in storage. But they just really, they just want the high ceilings, the custom trims, the custom floors, custom cabinets. I mean, talk a house, when you start pricing a house per square foot. Now, again, a lot of starter homes, people coming into the marketplace. That's a little bit different situation. Young families, they're looking, to build that first home, starter home type of thing. And, there's a real need in the marketplace for that as well. But we just so happen to be more in the custom market, our company is, and we probably intend to stay there as well. But we build them all price ranges. Again, we do some lower-end condos and things like this, but in single-family homes, we don't specialize in that starter home.
What, if any, is the strangest custom-built request that you've ever had? Any strange features that someone's asked for in a home or anything like that?
Once in a while, you'll get somebody who wants to build in pool or something in a home. Occasionally, you'll do that.
Great. Thank you, Roger. We're nearing the end here, but I think I'd be remiss to not ask you how the market's doing right now and where you see the market going for new construction.
Well, I'll tell you what, in the last, probably since '06 in there, probably the first time that I have really somewhat been confident in my own self. It's time to go out and maybe do another development or do a new development. And because I see the market today as listings down on existing properties, there's more need for new. But probably the biggest difficulty I think that we have right now is the availability of lots. There are just not a lot of lots in the marketplace out there today. They really got picked up in the last 3 or 4 years, and there's a lot of momentum, a lot of positive things. And when you got interest rates where they're at today, which is just unheard of, I mean, would have never believed that you'd have interest rates down in the 3%, on a new home or even an existing home. And it's quite encouraging to see them list a new home today and being able to sell that home in less than 30 days. Rather than 30 months, like it was back at 07, 08. So it's very encouraging for everybody, suppliers to subcontractors to the realtors.
That's awesome, Roger. For someone that's out there listening today and is interested in starting to look into the new build process and the custom home process, how could they reach you and your company in starting that relationship?
Well, basically what I would do is probably go to one of the model homes. We have one in Sorrel there, which is just off DuPont Road there in La Cabrera, a little first street in to the right there. And normally go through a model home. We got there many different floor plans that you can look at, but that's basically the place where I would probably get started. And then we basically will sit down, and Holly will normally run through the plan with them and customize the plan from there. But we'll build their plans, our plans. Normally we start off with one of ours is what we do, but it's that's basically you got to start with something, and we do it. I would recommend going into a model home and basically give us an idea what they want. If we don't have the model, we normally can walk them through something that we have that's or homeowners living in it or whatever. If we don't have a spec home or another house going up somewhere, we can walk them through. But it doesn't take us long to figure out kind of what they want, and usually we have a plan in the back of our mind that we can get them to. And then we also Holly works with them, with the in the design and also with the picking out the colors, the decorating, and everything. And she does a very, very good job of that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us, Roger. Roger Delagrange with us from Delagrange Builders. Definitely go check out, potentially today, one of those model homes. And if you're wondering how to finance that new construction, we're going to have Michelle Smeckens on the show with us next here on the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show on 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM.
You're listening to the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM.
We're back on the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show with Tony Didier and Sam Hartman here from Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber Real Estate. We had Roger Delagrange on before the break talking a little bit about new home construction. But how do you finance that new home that you're building? Is it different than buying a freestanding, residential home?
Great question. Why don't we find out?
I say we do.
From Hallmark Home Mortgage, we have joining us now mortgage loan originator Michelle Smeckens.
Is there a difference between a home loan for an existing home and a new built home?
It kind of is. As far as getting approved financially, it's all very similar to buying an existing home. But there is a little bit more in detail with new construction because in new construction, the builders need access to kind of a line of credit to be able to build the homes. And so there's a second step involved with setting up a construction loan for the builders and for the buyers. And we kind of do a two-step process to be able to get that construction loan set up and then also to then complete out their permanent mortgage when the house is all done.
What do you need to know about getting a loan for a new built property?
They should know that there's going to be a little bit more cost involved. There's more steps and requirements that we need to account for on new construction, so there's a little bit more cost. I would say somewhere, maybe in like the $2,000 to $3,000 range. And then also that, there's just a little bit more paperwork, not extreme amount, but just a little bit of extra steps that we have to do. But it is a pretty seamless process, especially if you're working with a lender that specializes in new construction. We kind of help walk the client through all of that. When we're dealing with new construction, we're waiting for blueprints from the builder. The buyer has to also get with the builder and do all of their selections for everything that they're putting into the house. One of the main things we want to make sure is that their value of their property is going to be consistent with what they're building. And we can't do an appraisal for them until they've completed all those blueprints. So it can be a short process if they make decisions quickly, or it could take a little bit longer if they're needing to make those changes.
So you're working on behalf of the buyer to protect the buyer.
Absolutely. And you want to know that before you start actually building that house, because you don't want to get all the way to the end of construction and then all of a sudden find out that it really wasn't worth what they were paying for it. We don't like surprises like that. You definitely want to be working with somebody who has that expertise and knows how to navigate, or else it can really lengthen that process of new construction. Somebody that is experienced kind of knows what steps you're going to need and prepares the client ahead of time so that hopefully you can get through it much simpler and easier. We here at Hallmark, we all have considerable experience in new construction. I myself have been doing it for about 18 years. And Hallmark's a little bit unique also. We have our own construction department in-house, and so we have a little bit more flexibility for construction loans, too. We offer, along with the new construction, we can do a construction loan with a client that is putting no down payment down or minimum down payments. We don't require that they have real large sums of money at the beginning of construction, and that's rather unique. A lot of the lenders actually do require larger down payments.
How can someone get a hold of you?
I'm available, kind of like the real estate market, kind of 24/7. I am here in our Hallmark office. I have a local number at 260-469-0930, or they're also welcome to visit our website, which is hallmarkhomemortgage.com. They also can apply for their preliminary mortgage online. We have that process available.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle Smeckens from Hallmark Home Mortgage. Thank you for joining us this morning. Some great insight about how to finance that new home that you're building, the dream home.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
And speaking of homes, that's what we're all about on the show. And coming up, we're going to talk about some open houses that you can check out this afternoon with Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber agents in there, ready to answer your questions and help you check out some homes. So this is 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show, and you can contact us, of course, at movingindiana.com, on Twitter at movingindiana, and you can just email us any question about real estate that you have by emailing sales@movingindiana.com. We'll be right back with those open houses.
This is the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. Visit them online at movingindiana.com. You're listening to the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show with Tony and Sam on News Talk 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM.
And we're back for the final segment of the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show here on 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. Tony Didier and Sam Hartman here from Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber. And we're going to highlight some of the open houses from Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber that you can check out this afternoon. We talked a lot about new home construction and development earlier. If you're looking to build a home and have a little bit of land, but still be in a subdivision, with big lots and have some room between you and your next door neighbor for some privacy, there's a new development called Longmeadow, 1 mile north of Route 9, and you can call Les Sackett from Coldwell Banker, Roth, Werhly, Graber at 403-0840. If you're interested in building a home on some bigger lots. It's just in Whitley County, but short drive from Southwest Fort Wayne if you work Southwest and need a larger lot for your new home. So contact Les Sackett for a great opportunity for some larger lots just Southwest of Fort Wayne.
But let's get started on those open houses of those existing homes that you can go check out for purchase. First up, we have 6030 Tangle Creek Court in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is a large 5-bedroom, 5 full bath, 1 half bath that's located in Bittersweet Lakes, which is out off Homestead Road. Get out there and see Andy Zoda today between 1 and 3 p.m. to check out that property.
And between 1 and 4, you can visit Gary and Pat Leidy at 12102 Burning Tree Road. That's in Burning Tree, which is connected to Pine Valley. Great location, outstanding neighborhood. Not many opportunities to buy homes in Burning Tree. This home is listed for $419,900. And it has a lap pool in the basement, in the finished daylight basement. So if you need some exercise, right there downstairs and check out the lap pool. It's 5 bedrooms, 5 bath, 2-story home with a panoramic view of the lake and Burning Tree.
Oh my, that sounds delightful.
Doesn't it?
Next up, Marlin French is hosting an open house from 1 to 3 p.m. today at 10522 River Birch Run out southwest off Scott Road. It's a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 1 half bath with about 2,600 square feet. Get out and see Marlin today between 1 to 3.
And between 2 and 4, you can check out a rare opportunity in La Cabrera for a good price, $285,900. That's at 408 Cavalcade Court. Hosted by Ken Stewart. It's in the back of La Cabrera. Beautiful brick home, 3-car garage. So definitely go to La Cabrera today between 2 and 4 and see Ken Stewart.
Andrea DeHaven is hosting an open house up in South Bend at 2426 Twickenham, South Bend, Indiana. This is a 3-bedroom, 1 full, 1 half bath with 1,470 square feet. Get out and see Andrea today between 11 and 1 p.m.
And again, you can check out Ben Craver between 1 and 4 at 223 Riley Drive. That's in Stone Creek, off of Coldwater and between Cook and Wallen, behind the Dairy Queen. For $139,900, you can get a newer home, 2-story. This is a former model home with fantastic curb appeal, newly for sale. So go see this opportunity at 223 Riley Drive.
Location, location, location. Easy access to the blizzards.
And to the highway.
Doug Lucas is hosting an open house 1 to 4 today at 14810 Buckeye Court. This is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath with 1,300 square feet. Very open floor plan with natural wood trims. Great looking lot that's on, so get out there and see Doug today between 1 to 4.
If you're up in the Elkhart area between 1 and 3 today, you can see an open house at 1750 Grant Street in Elkhart, hosted by the Canaricki Group. This house looks pretty big at an affordable price of $112,900. It's 5 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and you can see the pride of ownership in this one. The main level living room has hardwood floors and a built-in bookcase. So if you need 5 bedrooms in Elkhart for an affordable price of $112,900, go to 1750 Grant Street.
If you're looking for a great location and low maintenance, go see John Schindler between 2 and 4 today in the lakes of Buckingham. This is 3010 Seafarer Cove. It is a condo, 2-bedroom, 1 full, 1 half bath, 1,256 square feet. If you're looking for something in a great location, like I said, it has that low maintenance because it's a condo, definitely get out and see John today.
And if you're looking in New Haven between noon and 3, you can go to 3844 Woodcliff Drive for only $107,500. This newer home, 3-bed, 2 full bath, is 1,460 square feet, hosted by Sue Teasdale. It's a beautiful home and could be the end of your home search. So if you're looking in New Haven, 3844 Woodcliff Drive between noon and 3.
Deb Ramsey's hosting an open house from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at 2703 Rolling Meadows, and that's also in New Haven. Great price home at $89,900. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 full, 1 half bath, a little bit over 1,000 square feet. Get out and see Deb today between 12 and 2.
And also at a great price, $79,900, you can check out 1134 Clara Avenue in Fort Wayne. It has, this house is going to have a chocolate fountain at the open house today between 2 and 4. So if you want a chocolate fountain, go see Elle Hinton at 1134 Clara Avenue in Fort Wayne. I don't really need to give you any more reason to go, I'm pretty sure.
I'll be there. And lastly, Ann Marquardt is hosting an open house from 1 to 4 p.m. today at 5552 West Walters, and that's in Albion, Indiana. So if you're looking for kind of a quieter town, smaller town, that is listed at $74,900. It's a 1-bed, 1 full bath, 768 square feet. And lastly, we have Ann Marquardt hosting an open house at 5552 West Walters in Albion, Indiana. This house is listed at $74,900. It's a 1-bedroom, 1 full bath, 768 square feet. But here's the kicker, Tony. It is right there near the lake. So a great price to be near a lake, have that beautiful scenery, and enjoy the summers.
Sounds good, Sam, and I hope you enjoyed the show today as much as I did. That's all we have on the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show.
And you can see photos of any of these homes that we just talked about at our homepage at movingindiana.com. Like Tony said, click on that open house link and you'll be able to access all those or any of the homes that are for sale in the northern Indiana real estate market. You can also follow us at Twitter at movingindiana.com. Feel free to send us ideas on the show. Facebook at Facebook/movingindiana. And also, again, visit that homepage to check out all of those available homes in this northern Indiana market, movingindiana.com.
Again, I'm Tony Didier here with Sam Hartman from Coldwell Banker Roth Werhly Graber. You can check us out online at movingindiana.com, where we have every home for sale in the area. And if you want to get more information on those open houses today, you couldn't quite follow along with them. When you go to movingindiana.com, just click open houses at the top. We had a great show. We had Kevin Hunter from Windows, Doors, and More on, Michelle Smeckens from Hallmark Home Mortgage talking about new construction loans, and Roger Delagrange talking about new construction. We'll see you again next week through our radios on 1190 WOWO and now 92.3 FM. It's the Moving Indiana Real Estate Show. Have a great day.